Welcome back to Ifechi Family. We are still a marriage series. Today, I want us to look at 10 signs that your marriage is breaking or about to break down. Number one, you are married, but you still feel lonely. You feel that you are just on your own due to lack of communication, lack of commitment, lack of doing things that married couples should supposed to be doing. Number two, intimacy is not in your mind. It's not something you think about. Even when you see your spouse, nothing moves. You don't feel any kind of intimacy. Your sex life is more or less zero. That's a sign that that marriage is breaking down. The third one is that you don't enjoy spending time with each other. When you're with each other, you are just irritated. You just don't want to spend time. You make excuses to go out or to do something else on your own. You don't just feel like being around each other. That's number three. Number four, you don't argue anymore. Yes, you might be wondering, but argument is not good. Yes, actually, sometimes it is. Because when you argue, then something comes out of that argument and you deal with it. But when suddenly one of you or both of you decide that, you know what, I can't argue with him or her anymore, it's a sign that that marriage is breaking down. Number five, you are always on social media. And that's the only time you smile or laugh out loud. Only when you're on social media, looking at your internet, looking at your phone, on Facebook or whatever, that's where you derive joy, and that's where you actually, have that fulfillment and have that excitement of laughing, and you feel like you're talking with people or with somebody instead of your husband or your wife in the house. That's a sign that that marriage is breaking down. Number six, you are constantly disappointed by your spouse. Anything they do, that they try their best to please you, but you're always disappointed. You don't see anything good in what they do. Maybe it has never been like that initially, but over the years, you start feeling so disappointed. Everything they do, you find a fault. That's a sign that that marriage is breaking down. Number seven, you are always out on your own without your spouse. Sometimes you don't even tell them where you're going. You just get out and go because you need to clear your head. So some people will say, they don't know where you've been. They don't know when you're coming back. There's no discussion about where you are going. That's a sign that that marriage is breaking down. It's not working well. Number eight, you change your looks, your clothing, the way you behave. You want to groom yourself properly before you leave the house. And in some cases, some people even have a change of clothing in their handbag or in their briefcase before they go out. So when they go out, they change to who they want to be when they're out there. So the way they dress when they are leaving the house is not how they're going to be when they're out there. Some people do that, and some people just change their clothing. Suddenly, when you notice sudden change in your spouse's clothing, their behavior, the way they package themselves before they go out, and they're going out on their own, not with you, that's a sign that that marriage is breaking down. Number nine, always talking about divorce. Very small thing. Oh, I don't want this marriage anymore. I'm going to divorce you. Oh, or maybe you're talking about people who are already divorced. and how they have their own free time. Trust me, divorce, you think you have a free time, but it's not the answer. It's only when you are there that you actually know. I know that obviously that's inevitable that some people may end up divorcing, but threatening your spouse all the time and talking about divorce to them all the time that you have an argument is not good. It's a sign that that marriage is about to break down or is breaking down. Number 10, you change by just wanting to do things on your own. You don't want to get your spouse involved in what you do. They start talking, saying one thing today and saying the next thing tomorrow. You ask them a question today, they are what they say, what they said today. When you ask them the same question, they are giving you a different answer to when you ask them that question next time. So that is being inconsistent. Yeah. Number 10 is being inconsistent. When spouses become inconsistent with their answers, with what they say, and they start stuttering, even though they are not usually stutter before or stammering. They started stammering or saying, and not bringing out the words immediately. That means there's something not quite right. I'm going to stop it here. Bible verse in Galatians 6 verse 2, where he says that we should share each other's burdens. To work on your marriage, share each other's burdens. Be open with each other. So these are some of the 10 signs that when you see, you know that marriage eventually will break down if it's not rescued. If the couple do what they've got to do to hold that marriage. These 10 things are signs that the marriage will break down. So you need to watch out for these signs and act on them as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in my next one. Goodbye and God bless.